Celebrating America's 250th anniversary gala, Advocates for Faith and Freedom at St. John's Resort in Plymouth, Thursday, September 10th. And to talk with us about that, our two guests joining us here today in Epiphany. We're talking with Soren Nielsen, student at the University of Utah and a political science major. And we're talking Soren, and then Erin Mersino currently works as Vice President Chief of Supreme Court and Appellate Litigation at Advocates for Life and Freedom. Thank you both for being with us here in Epiphany today.
Oh, thank you so much, Vanessa.
Yeah, my pleasure to have you both on. So I don't know who wants to kick it off, but kind of give us a background of this event celebrating America's 250th anniversary gala. Tell us about this.
Sure. So Advocates for Faith and Freedom has been around for 20 years. And it's primarily based in California and recently has ventured into Michigan with all of its work that it does. It's a legal ministry that protects religious liberty, free speech, the sanctity of human life, all of the things that we hold dear. So really live your faith in your daily life and protecting our evangelization efforts in the world.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Soren?
Advocates for Faith and Freedom, we defend our constitutional freedoms. We also have like a strong focus on protecting students and teachers. And with the rise of transgender athletes in women's sports and all these things, we've taken a stronger hold on defending biological truths. And all these things are leading us to have more and more cases we need to defend, which is why we're having our upcoming gala this September. And the main focus celebrating what America has done and our freedoms that we have and making sure we can continue them for the next 250 years and beyond that. And
so,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that which is what an amazing effort. We appreciate you both being involved in this. And Erin, you used to work at the Thomas More Law Center, right?
Yes,
in the
absolutely,
Great Lakes. So,
yes.
Mm-hmm. So tell us about what led you into your work you're doing today, Erin. Then we'll talk about you, Soren, and what you're doing today. But Erin, what led you into the work that you're doing today?
Yeah, so just how important it is to protect religious liberty. It's one thing to say that we have the right. You can see even in the Chinese Communist Constitution, they have the right to religious liberty. So it's one thing to have that right on paper, and it's another thing to actually have it in practice and to really be able to live the protections that are so important and that we hold dear. And so that's really the line of work that I've devoted my career to, is protecting religious liberty, free speech, and the sanctity of human life. And I've been able to continue that with Advocates for Faith and Freedom. I actually first encountered the organization, and this is kind of a funny story. I was in Missouri on a case representing a co-defendant where our clients were very sweet Christian women. One was a homeschool mother, the other was a teacher at a local Christian school, and they appeared at public meetings at the library board and city council in favor of a gender-neutral dress code after there was a public-facing employee at the library who wore his natural facial hair, now facial hair, and dresses, female dress, at the library. And they spoke out not, with any sort of hatred, in love and Christian charity, but wanting to protect children from something that would be rather confusing for children, especially young children. Mm-hmm. And for doing this, for simply speaking out, they were sued for defamation. So I met the president of Advocates for Faith and Freedom at this hearing, and after the oral argument, he tried to convince me to work for him, which I said, no, I don't want to change, my job. And then he was very persistent, and finally I agreed.
Yeah. And Soren, you are a student at the University of Utah and a political science major. Tell us about your goals and what your plans for your future are in the work that you're doing and your volunteer work here today, coordinating this event.
So I got into really in the advocacy sphere when I was in high school. I went to Ann Arbor Skyline, and our school was very, very adamant in promoting a very strong political agenda. And I was always raised, and I still believe that it's important to have open space to talk about our beliefs, and our school isn't really creating those. So ever since then, I've been fighting to make sure that people of different viewpoints have the right to believe, and that led to a lot of contention and legal battles with my high school. And that's how I met Erin, and she was working at Thomas More and they represented me, and they continue to represent me in this case against my school. And it has really opened my eyes to wanting to really advocate for our freedoms, because as Erin said, like, just because they're written on a piece of paper doesn't mean that they're going to be enforced. And I really have a strong desire to continue to protect those freedoms, and I know that one of the best ways to protect it is to become an attorney. And I'm currently going to university with hopes of becoming mostly just like and really being an advocate for faith, freedom, and our American values that we hold so dear. So that's why I'm going to school, and I have that goal in mind, and I've already advocated a lot for student rights, and I'm hoping to continue that legacy that Erin has had and a lot of wonderful Americans have had, and hoping to continue that into the next generation.
Yeah. So, Erin, looking at what's been going on in this constant, to your point, it's on paper, and I know Soren echoed that. It's on paper, but yet we continue to fight for our freedoms, and people are constantly canceled out in the culture on social media. Do you see this fight continuing, or is there going to be a point that after every win, it's going to get easier and easier for us to exercise our freedoms here in this country?
Yes, so it is continuing, as we see, with every victory, we celebrate the victory, but we have our eyes open for the next challenge, right? So it took over 11 years for the Little Sisters of the Poor to receive their injunction from the court, and then yet we see that there's more challenges under different laws now in New York. So it's a constant challenge, and that's what the Founding Fathers expected. They expected that the price of these freedoms would be vigilance from us, and that's where Advocates for Faith and Freedom steps in. We are the vigilant arm to protect the rights in the court, which it will be a constant need.
So, Soren, as you head into this legal arena as an attorney, are you ready for this constant fight? Is this an area you want to continue in?
Yeah, I definitely think so, because like I've had about 4 years of experience with it, with the lawsuit that I've been currently waging with the help of Erin against my high school, and it's something that I've discovered that I'm pretty passionate about. And the cool thing about this area of law is that we are defending what was started in the beginning 250 years ago. And for me, it's something I'm really passionate about, and I feel like that passion is going to be able to fuel me to continue to have that stamina to push forward. And to protect rights for the foreseeable future. So for me, inspiration from Erin and other attorneys really show me that yeah, it's hard, but it's worth defending, and that constant vigilance is very important. It's like a garden. It's you can let it go for a second, but you need to keep maintaining it in order for things to grow. And our country is the same way. Our rights have to be continually protected.
We're talking with Soren Nielsen and Erin Mersino here today, celebrating America's 250th anniversary gala, Advocates for Faith and Freedom at St. John's Resort in Plymouth on Thursday, September 10th. How do we get tickets to this event?
Please go to our website, faith-freedom.com, and you can find the event on our website. And please, it'd be wonderful to buy tickets, because what this does is it's not just protecting religious liberty right now, it's protecting it for generations. So our organization, it was one of the very first organizations to bring lawsuits protecting girls' sports. And we filed an amicus brief before the Supreme Court, went to the oral arguments in the Supreme Court. And when that victory came down, people were congratulating me. And I was saying, this isn't a victory for me. This is a victory for the young girls who want to play sports or go into a locker room and not have a male in the locker room with them as they're changing. And it's really not, a personal victory. It's not funds, really for us directly. It's funds to protect religious liberty for generations. And we really want to establish something that is very strong, and that we're raising up the future leaders of tomorrow, people like Soren, who are courageous enough to stand up. And courage begets courage. So please come enjoy this gala with us. Come see what we do. And it would just be wonderful to partner with even more people, especially the listeners of Ave Maria Radio. And the co-host of this event is James Cresta, the son of Al Cresta, who, of course, had the last segment on Cresta in the afternoon with Marcus Peters. And so the Cresta legacy is living on through this event as well.
That's wonderful. And so I want to ask you, Erin, where are we with women in protecting women's sports and women in sports? And then, Soren, I'm going to ask you about the status of your case with your school. But, Erin, where are we today? How protected are women in sports today, female sports, to keep biological men out of them?
Yes, so we had a tremendous victory in the U.S. Supreme Court where the court said that states are allowed to restrict sports by biological sex. The issue that is still in the court, and we have 3 cases right now on this issue, is whether or not states that separate sports by gender identity, if that's a violation of Title IX and equal protection. And so we're challenging those claims to say that these individual girls have the right to participate in sports and to have sports be separated by biological sex. And so our cases are in California, but it's also an issue here in Michigan.
Yeah, and that's continuing the system right now, those cases.
Those cases are continuing, yes.
Yep, okay. Soren, where are you in the status of your case with your school?
So my case began 4 years ago, right around the midterm election over Prop 3 in it. We have, and currently we are still in legal battles with my school. We are currently waiting to have waiting to hear more from the appellate court. There have been some scheduling issues with our school on when to appear in court, but we are currently in the appellate court in the Sixth Circuit, waiting to go before the court. So that's where we're currently at, and we're willing to take as long as necessary to make sure that like schools are a place where thoughts are, like, regardless of your beliefs, that they're protected, because that's what's taught in our Constitution under the Equal Protection Clause. So we're willing to wait it out, but currently we wait in the appellate court, and these things take time. So as Erin mentioned. So.
We have a couple of minutes left with both of you here on Epiphany, talking about celebrating America's 250th annual anniversary gala, Advocates for Faith and Freedom at St. John's Resort in Plymouth on Thursday, September 10th. All are welcome. faith-freedom.com. You can get your tickets. Any last words from both of you before we let you go? Soren and then Erin, any last words?
Our freedoms are very valuable, and while they should never have a price tag on them, we do know that any support from any person helps protect our freedoms for the next generation. And this gala is going to be a wonderful opportunity for us to partner with the community, because a lot of the things we're auctioning off and stuff is from the community, and we're going to partner with this community to help really ensure that our rights are on the forefront of people's minds, so that we can continue to protect them for generations to come. I'm a beneficiary of what Advocates for Faith and Freedom has done, and all the donations and all these wonderful things that people have done to protect my rights as a student. And I know that the more we focus on this, the more attention and the more time we'll be able to dedicate to protecting these freedoms. And I'm so grateful for this wonderful organization that helps create that opportunity for all of us.
Any last words from you, Erin?
Yes, come and join us. We would be just elated to see you there. And thank you so much for having us on your program, Vanessa.
Oh, my pleasure. And thank you both for joining us and sharing with us this important information and your courage to stand up for our freedoms in this country that so many people have given their life for. So thank you both, Erin and Soren, for being with us. God bless you. God bless you both.
Thank you. God bless you.
Bless you.